Hello Libra, and welcome back to TenPaths Tarot. I'm really glad to see you today. We start out with your oracle card, and it is purification. You are wanting to drive out all of the bad features within you and to feel reborn. And let's see how we go about doing that. Let's go to your recent past. And when I say recent past, that can be different things to different people. And some people become very frustrated with that. But think of it this way. A year to me is only a small percentage of my lifetime. A year to someone who is 20 is going to be a much more significant percentage of their lifetime. And so it is going to seem to pass more slowly. And when we are very energetic, then what happens? Time seems to fly. But when we are depressed, everything seems to drag on forever. And so, time passage is relative. So take that into consideration when I say your recent past. Now let's look at the cards in your recent past. We start out with the Ace of Spirals. This is a very strong energy here. Anytime we see a ram, we know we're wanting to move forward. That spiral represents a dream. The ace indicates one, so we have one big dream. There are feathers all the way around it. We want it to take flight, but there's one problem with those feathers. They're all from different birds, so they cannot form a wing. They cannot take us anywhere. Next, we have Mott, or the Justice card. But here, look what happens with those feathers. They come together and they do form wings. And we start looking at our goal, our dream, in a broader perspective. We consider our environment and the world around us. And we have the lion here, indicating strength. But then we flip-flop back to the Two of Stones. We start looking at practical things. We become the bear. A bear is a loner. It is athletic, like the ram was. It tends to plow through things, to rip things down. But look how barren that land looks now. We went from this lushness to this barrenness. And then finally, we start considering the world again and how we're interconnected with everything. And we go back to the 10 of Mirrors. And all of those ribbons are like a big net of connection. And the mirrors represent loving energy. And so we keep flip-flopping back and forth. We want to feel independent of the world. And then we start thinking we better consider the world just a little bit. And so it seems like we are at a stalemate. But we're not, because all of this up and down has been an experience in and of itself. And it has all become one big pearl of wisdom. And now instead of one dream, we see two wands. So some people would say we now have two dreams, but I would say instead we're starting to see that dream as having different aspects, different directions it could go. But as we see that, we fear that those directions will become tangles, entanglements. We are afraid of the unknown and where this expanding our view of our goal might take us. Now, this card indicates the path is unknown, but Spirit, the moonlight, is guiding us. Now, once you get past those fears, and we are now in your current energy, both of these cards were part of your current energy. Once you get past those fears, you start to see your goal as being divided into steps. And those steps are at the top of this mountain. Those wands at the top of the mountain are the different steps. And you see them, but it's a long journey getting there. And then you have to work each step. This card, this starting card, indicates that you had a dream and you just expected everything to fall in place if you pushed hard enough. You're not pushing anymore. You're working with the world and you're working with your own dream, letting it expand in a more natural way. And so what is the result of all of this effort? Well, it's pretty wonderful. We have the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is someone who sees things clearly. She sees a path clearly. That's why she can work with such concentration. She knows what she's doing. She's tending her garden. If you have had a garden, you know that it is never finished. So perhaps she realizes now that that dream, it isn't just a goal. It is part of making me, part of making the dreamer a whole person. And so she is now much more well-rounded. In the background, we see 3 hanged men. And that can look very ominous. It kind of does. It looks a little scary. But in tarot, the hanged man means looking at things from different perspectives. And so maybe as she has gone through these different steps to achieve her goal, she has had to look at things in different ways multiple times. And she found that instead of hurting her dream, it enhanced her dream. It expanded her dream beyond where it might have been. And so now we are back at the Oracle card, purification, which is actually, when we are purified, we are joining ourselves with everything around us. We have many aspects to ourselves. We can't just toss them all away. We want to toss away the bad. We can kind of move it to the background, the bad, and then move ahead with the positive. And that is the process of purification. And so I hope this has helped you today, Libra. Now, there is one thing I would like to ask of you. I'm going to put a video link here. If you have time, I would like you to watch it. It asks for your input as to how I might make these readings better for you. I want to make this channel better and better for the viewer. It also tells you why I do certain things when I'm reading the cards. And so I hope you get a chance to check it out. If not, I still hope to see you back soon. Bye for now, Libra.